Hey guys, it's TRIZE here, formerly known as Mr. Jack 000, back with Automation, the car company Tycoon game, and what you're seeing right now is one of the latest builds called the Honda CRX. This lineup of the CRX was originally built in 1983 to 1991 as a sporty compact car until the release of the Honda Del Sol, which no one talks about anymore. Looking at this car, it's obviously been customized from the ground up by a high school senior who recently got their driver's license. Although it is painful to look at from the massive rear wing, unnecessary aero, and janky cosmetic modifications. At least it's got a racing wheel made by Oboe and a pair of racing seats by Dried. Despite this car being an eyesore, I'll explain how I made this ricer throughout this portion of the video. It has a lap time of 1 minute 30 seconds 76 milliseconds at the quote-unquote Top Gear test track and 2 minutes 29 seconds 82 milliseconds at the automation track. It has a top speed of 130 miles per hour and a 0 to 60 in 7.62 seconds. This vehicle uses a custom 1.8 liter inline-4 engine that produces 131.2 horsepower and 111.2 pounds-feet of torque. It has a fuel efficiency rating of 21.8 miles per gallon and weighs 1,935.7 pounds or 878 kilograms. And for the market, it does a good job in the budget levels of the light sports, track car, and regular sports car markets. For the standard light sports car level, not so much. In terms of how I made the CRX ricer, the panel material we made out of regular steel with a monocoque chassis also made out of regular steel. With a front transverse engine placement and the front suspension, uses a McPherson strut, and the rear suspension uses a semi-trailing arm. I don't think it changed anything, right? No, I didn't. For the engine, it uses an inline-4 engine made out of cast iron with the bore set to 87.2 millimeters and a stroke at 75 millimeters to get the engine size of 1,792 cubic centimeters, which is about 1.8 liters, with single overhead cam 4 valves made out of aluminum. For the crank, it's made out of cast iron with lightweight forged con rods and regular cast pistons. For the compression, it is set at a above normal 9.5 to 1 ratio with the cam profile set to a 70 and VVT because VTEC kicked in, yo. For the fuel system, we're using a multi-point EFI single configuration with a standard intake running on regular fuel, with the fuel mixture bumped it up a tad to a 13.8, same thing for the ignition timing, upped it up to a 55, and the RPM movement is set at 7,200 RPM. For the exhaust, we're using tubular headers with our only option is a single exhaust pipe with the exhaust diameter set at 50.8 millimeters, which equals to 2 inches, and your typical 3-way catalytic converter and no mufflers because this wants to sound loud and annoying at the same time. For the drive type, our only option is we got a front-wheel drive setup with a manual 5-speed with the top speed set to 136 miles per hour. Did that just to squeeze a little bit more top speed. If it would have been at 130 like it should be, it'll be at an estimated top speed of 128. For the tires, we're using some Radial Sports compound tires with the front and rear tire width set at 185 millimeters, running on some 13-inch alloy rims, which those are kind of freakishly small for any car. For the brakes, we got ourselves a Venedis 2 piston with its size set to 230 millimeters. And the rear, pretty interesting, we're using a drum brake, a single shoe with its size set to 215 millimeters. Pad type as is, slightly adjusted brake bias. For the under tray, semi-clad 10 airflow, so for the interior and everything, as you see here, just like the real-life CRX, you got 2 seats here with a standard interior and standard cassette player. So for the safety and everything, hydraulic power steering, no ABS brakes, and standard 1980 safety standards. And last but not least, for the suspension, all the good stuff, progressive springs with some gas monotube dampers and passive sway bars running on a sport preset. Despite a handful of problems in here, such as the front dampers being too hard, brake force being too high, clearance issues, and brake fade, let's export this car to BeamNG.drive and test this horrendous ricer out. So here we are at the map of West Coast USA, parked at some dude's house, and taking a quick look at this vehicle. Well, first of all, why are all the lights on? I thought he turned these off in automation. And second of all, we're missing the frickin' bumper stickers here. In terms of this vehicle here, you got this raggedy ass rear diffuser that comes up here, and not only that, if you did pay attention, This is a single exhaust vehicle, and as you see here, you got 2 exhaust tips. It's just for show. Just like some people, they put those fake exhaust tips, so you got like, whatever, a single exhaust, but you got 2 of them. And not only that, like I mentioned, big ass rear wing, rear louvers for the rear of the window, and these here vortex generators that I decided to put in myself. Which I don't know how that's going to behave in BeamNG in terms of aerodynamics and everything. And looking towards the front, same type of rear diffuser used in the rear to be put on the front as a front splitter. You know, you got this freaking nuclear radiation warning thing right here that goes to the front of the vehicle that takes place at the Honda badge, including the back right here. And overall, this vehicle, it's pretty stupidly obnoxious, and it's also a spiritual successor to the Bryce, which is a video that I used to record over a year ago, which was my first Ricer build, which unfortunately, I do not have that thanks to my previous channel ban. But I will test out this here vehicle and the Bryce later throughout this video. So let me go to the highway just next door to me to start our basic performance tests. So here I am backed up way back here, almost my back bumpers along these here barriers right here, and we'll be doing the basic performance test like I mentioned. The first one we're doing is a 0 to 62 acceleration test, next would be the 62 to 0 brake test, and lastly would be a top speed run, which I guarantee with this 1.8 liter engine, it should probably do it, but I haven't driven it yet, so let's just go right ahead. So start off with the 0 to 62 acceleration test now. Hit the gas pedal, and here we go, going to the 37 to the second gear, and along highway speeds to get the test to 0 to 62 in 8.11 seconds of 418.99 feet, almost a perfect 419. That's like off by what, 100 of a foot. That's kind of interesting. So brake here with the cruise control, and let's go to realistic gearbox, and 62, brake. No ABS, so we're skidding straight, and here we go, 62 to 0 in 2.81 seconds of 120.24 feet. And second time in a row with a non-ABS vehicle, didn't slide all over the place, but we stayed straight despite the tires locking up. Like I said in the previous video, it's probably have to do with the brake bias and a combination of the brake force. Like if you have too much brake force in one set of the brakes, whether it's the front or back, that could be a good chance of the vehicle just spinning out of control while slamming the brakes. So top speed run are in effect, and we got the BeamNG upshift to downshift thanks to my wheel spin launch there. So 0 to 62 at a worse, 8.78 seconds, 151 feet. Or 451. I'm stupid. So going over 100 miles an hour right now, going into the 5th gear, and we're cruising just as fine. I guarantee we're gonna get top speed. So despite this raggedy ass aerodynamics of the rear wing, vortex generators in the top, rear louvers, diffusers like here, and I also forgot to point out there are a couple of side skirts right here and here. Forgot to mention it out. So 131 miles an hour. Keep on going, 132. I'm just focusing on the airspeed, 135, and we're way beyond the automation top speed. So, okay, redlining, 138 miles an hour. Let's crash the scantry up ahead. So, merge the scantry, and I got in my sights. Stop. It's going to be a serious overlapping crash. So, 60 times slow-mo, and I'll bring it down to 100 times slow-mo. So, bring it up over here. Reset the FOV just a tad, hide the UI, and let's go to 100 times slow-mo right now. Unfreeze physics, and here is the car, and right up to the headlight is our overlapping crash. So, gonna dip into the gantry, and it's gonna crash right here. I got all the mirrors, some of the light fixtures, and that's the other mirror, and kind of merging awkwardly in the gantry here. So let's go to 60 times. Anything else? No, we're stuck full time. And like that, we have successfully killed the engine because engine broken. I would say main engine broken on the top left, but no, it didn't. So vehicle-wise, let's F7 it over here to get the aftermath of the destruction, and I kind of dipped myself a little bit, and look at the front of the vehicle. We got the axles, both front tires, like, they want to pop out, but they aren't for some odd reason. It's almost to the point where it's very close, like there's a couple beams to go for the tire to just snap off and just bounce along, roll over, do whatever tires do for a living. And just look at the front of vehicles, you see the engine, that could be the engine right here, some loose polygons up in here, but with the shape of the front of vehicle, it's been crinkled in big time up in here. And not only that, the front tires are still moving 29 miles an hour. What if it hit the brakes? Good. And for the size of the vehicle, not a whole lot, just some bendiness with the chrome piece strip on here, where normally you have like a black paint on the bottom of the strip, but it's all painted blue no matter what. Rear, some minor deformities, especially the rear light, and some of the freaking vortex generators that got, oh, they got its own beam nodes. Oh, that's kind of interesting. What if I rip one off? They just That sounded heavy. So anyways, that is the... Whoa. Is that the mirror or the windshield poking? Like, it's just shanking the passenger right up in here. So you got these, like, shiny looking seats here. My racing seats by DRIZE, which is a knockoff version of Bride. And the passenger, I think that's the mirror. He would survive whatsoever. So rip to the passenger, driver, same there too. So now let's go to a time trial run. Let's do something short so we can do the Bryce and the CRX Racer. Let's say Lakeside. I haven't done this in quite a while. So main circuit of the Lakeside Raceway circuit. Do 2 laps with a rolling start with this vehicle. And not only that, a 326 with a vehicle they don't have enabled. So rolling start, 2 laps with this here vehicle. So start with the time trial off right now. So here I am parked way back here. Looks like an entrance to like a service road or something back here, which is pretty much standard issued at this track once you do a rolling start. So for the first trial we're going to do is 2 laps of the Honda CRX Racer Edition, or just simply the Riced Out CRX, and the second time trial at this here track, but 1 lap with a rolling start with the Bryce, a horrible racer based on the Peugeot 300 series. So start this time trial off here and ready, go. Oh, ready, go, and like a flash. It's kind of interesting with BeamNG now. It seems like time trials are like, ready, go! Not just 3, 2, 1, go. Same thing with the countdown. It's like 3, 2, 1, go. It's not 3, 2, 1, go like your regular countdowns. They just sped up to like a frickin' like light speed or something stupid. Probably have to do with something with this new update where they did something to the time trial countdown for some odd reason. I don't know why, but they did it. There's nothing you can do about it. So starting off with our first lap, and I did kind of notice the vehicle that I did try out before, and I'm in the grass. I was about to say the vehicle that I last raced on here, where I had a 326 time, which I think that vehicle was the GMC Super Truck. Which you don't know what that vehicle is, it's a super truck, an FIA super truck, which had a V10 engine and was pretty much mostly in racing spec for the FIA rules. And I'm back in the damn dirt again. I'm like underestimating the steering in this vehicle to the point where like front wheel drive equals understeer, but no, it's handling pretty well. Like look at this, 60 miles an hour. Handles like a rear-wheel drive vehicle or something. Well, there's always a lap 2. You can do better on lap 2. If not, then you probably suck at racing, even though I'm a controller user, because I got no room for a wheel. So for the first lap, we're going to get a 1:10 time, which I believe is a 1 minute, 12 seconds, 620 milliseconds. I think the second lap, without bumping on the grass here, and start braking now. Let's see, 5, 6... 800 degrees in the front is getting close to some front brake fade, which fortunately we didn't. I want to say time-wise, I'm looking forward to probably a 108 or a 107. So a 1 second, 274 millisecond split time difference between the first and second lap. Pretty good. Gonna dive. Not dive. That's the part where I almost flipped over on the first lap, diving down that damn corner. And once I show off the Bryce, you're gonna be in a treat for this one. Yiddish. It's been over a year since I published that video, and also that was a time when the hard drive crapped out on me where I save all of my published videos. It crapped out a few weeks after publishing that video where the hard drive just crapped out on me for some odd reason. So, a time, almost the same thing, 1 minute 12 seconds, 630 milliseconds, off by 10 hundredths of a second, of a total time of 2 minutes 25 seconds 250 milliseconds. I was about to say that would have been surprising and shocking to get the first and second lap at the same time, like literally the same time, not by like 100th or 1,000th of a second, but that is interesting. Hopefully the Bryce will beat 225 250, so 225 250. So crash this vehicle out at a high speed at around 114 miles an hour. Camera as is, 60 times slow-mo, high DUI, go. So 60 times slow-mo through the non-existent tire barrier. Oh no, you do go through the tire barriers. I think with the Supercharger, I kind of remembered, it went like straight through the tire barriers and it bashed ourselves into this wall up in here. So lost both tires, and engine is dead, of course. And the tire is bouncing, rolling away. Let's assault the car. What the hell was that? Some Silent Hill type of stuff or something. I mean, hurts like, like it's something straight from Silent Hill or something. But anyways, destruction of the vehicle, aftermath of it. Let's see here. Front, kind of like the front from West Coast USA, damaged front end through the tire. Unlike before, front tires are gone, and everywhere else about the vehicle, rear crinkliness, and that is it. So nothing much about this vehicle, so let's start off with the time trial run, 1 lap of the race Bryce. So remind myself, 2 minutes, 25 seconds, 250 milliseconds. So again, time trial, same course, 1 lap of a rolling start with the race Bryce, which will scroll down here and pick out race Bryce. And you can see right away, huge rear wing, huge side skirts, unnecessary front wing, big hood scoop, and some stickers, decals, all that good stuff. So let's start this off right now. So here is the abomination of all racers, the Rice Bryce by WTF, a custom badge that I put on here. And not only that, I forgot you got a tow hitch, because why the hell not? But look at the... Boy, this brings me back. Huge rear wing on a front-wheel drive hatchback. Same thing with these huge wings, which are basically side skirts on both ends of the vehicle. Chrome wheels, tiny brakes. That was before bigger brakes reduces fade. Front tow hook, VTEC kicked in, yo. Hood scoop, and front wing. Let's just ignore all that good stuff. So get ready to start this here time trial off here in ready, go. And hitting the gas, you can see that the vehicle is scraping thanks to these wings, and we got a high 9,000 RPM rev limiter of this here 4-cylinder engine. Boy, this takes me back. And we got massive understeer, and there goes the rear wing. And while I'm at it, let's just have everything on. Nothing comes out with this vehicle. If it comes out, then I don't know if I should restart or not. So again, look at the vehicle. Look at the scraping, because let me see here the J-beam editor. You got, oh wait, whoa. You got this piece here, I think part of the wing. Yeah, the wing is causing the ground to just throw up sparks. I remember back in the day that this vehicle scraped like hell. It's because of the J-beams and everything, the beam nodes and everything, just basically just drag on the ground thanks to these here big-ass wings that pretty much takes its place of like your ordinary side skirts. And two, we're having a look at this, major understeer at 20-something miles an hour. ECS going off. Let's turn this off. Turn this off. There we go. Much better. Look, right turn, 50 miles an hour. Major understeer. I can't steer. Come on, bring it back up, and good. So I'm going to take control of the shifting gear. So go into 3rd gear to 4th gear, around 75 miles an hour into the start and finish line. And again, 1 lap, and I swear, turn, and turn. No, I gotta resort to other measures. Let's not restart. So lost that wing. So we're going to do a little bit better up in here. Let's be rather off having both wings in this vehicle. But 1 wing, good enough, because it's still going to drag down, bog down, and cause more major understeer. And ew, that tire squeal. That tire was like... Jesus! Is this a horror movie? Minus the engine sound. It sounds like a goddamn B-movie horror film or something. Listen to that. This is what happens when VTEC kicks in through the next century or something. I think it's the front or rear wheel. It's the left side of the vehicle doing all that mess up in here, so brake hard. Did okay right there. Surprised we didn't majorly understeer. I think it's because that the right wing is gone. The left wing is causing understeer to the right, but regular steer to the left. And surprisingly, we do get a much better time. I thought it'll be even worse, so it'd probably be like a 1:45 would be our finish time. And yes, it'll be like a 1:45, so finish time in 1 minute, 43 seconds, 902 milliseconds. I thought it'll be even worse than that. And again, like the CRX, slowed us down to 2 times, 4, 6, or 8. Let's do 8 times, and lost the wing 16 times. Camera as is, go. Go through the tire barriers, into the wall, and nothing much, so full time. And like that, like the CRX, killed the front. Oh no, I can barely hear it. Engine is still going. We kept the rear wing and the tow hitch, all that good stuff. All the wings are gone, including the front wing too. The front wing spoiler thingamajig. But anyways, tires messed up. No interior because it was built in 2020 before the 3D fixture placement, all that ordeal. So now, let's take this down somewhere to Brutal Slope 2.0 to see if the CRX would cure itself from, what's a good medical term for ricer stuff? Ribercurosis or whatever. So let's just go there right now. So here I am facing down at the top of the ramp here. So let's skateboard down the top of the ramp here to see if we get a better 0 to 62 time, and we do. 0 to 62 in 4.4 seconds of 182.37 feet. That's pretty good. And fifth gear into over rev risk. Wait for it. Over rev risk, over 8,000 RPM-ish, I believe. Oh, valve trade damage, engine torque reduced, and milder rev damage, and nuclear bomb. 200 miles an hour, engine locked up, engine is dead. So let's see here. Bottom of the ramp is going to be 226, major bottoming out, and 175-ish at the top of the ramp. Or as our launch speed, I'd put it that way. So we're going to be facing down. Let's face downward. Can I? That'll work out even better. So slow this down to 16 times, get a camera going, and we're pretty high up. So get ourselves down here and way over here. So 60 times slow-mo. Let's see. 8 to 100 times. Okay, here we go. Zoom in on the car. And here we go. Major loose polygons. The front tire is free to front right. Will the rear tire do the same thing as we majorly and viciously bottom out like a mofo? So it looks like it ain't. So now let's just go to regular cam and full time it. And we're going to land on 2 over 4 wheels. That tire's going to be gone. Same with that tire. Let's see. Can I Silent Hill this again? Yeah, I doubt it. It ain't gonna work out. So, damage to the vehicle. Rear's been messed up like it should. Sides, not so much. The front, ooh, dude. So, suspension or something. Yeah, suspension completely exposed right there. I don't know about this guy. And now at that, the engine is exposed. You got the fuel injector, the multi fuel injector at the top here exposed, but Jesus. And interior, you're dead. No doubt about it. So, last part of the video, let's skateboard to the top of this hill here to crash ourselves down to a wedge thingy, which basically is a square block to get an interesting wedge-shaped look of the vehicle. And I did say that right before the engine over revs and all that good stuff. So I'm guessing crash speed would be around like 220, kind of like what I did at the bottom of the ramp there. So mild rev damage, let's lean back. Nuclear bomb goes off, and here we go. So a speed of 220, let's say 28 once we get ourselves into the wall up here. So let's go do this one. We'll do right here. All U to hide UI and unfreeze physics to 100 times slow-mo. Let's see. Put the FOV back just a tad, and here goes the front. And it comes to rest. And it's going to rest kind of like where the rear window louvers are up. And boy, we hella messed up this vehicle. So, whoops, there goes my controller, and full time. And that is it with your vehicle. There goes every piece of aerodynamic fixture just going all over the place. And some, looks like a mirror right here, right? Yeah, there goes your mirror, all that good stuff. All your fixtures are gone. And we got the rear tires spinning viciously up in here at 230 miles an hour. What would be like if I set this down right here showing the aftermath of destruction? Let's see. So the vehicle is just moving by itself. Can I e-brake? Oh, so the rear tires are doing that all along. So damage-wise to the vehicle, as it spins around uncontrollably, like thinking it's like a showroom floor of like a turntable thingy that you see in some car shows. The front of the vehicle, completely wedged, as you see here. I got the wedge-shaped look at your vehicle coming in at a 135-degree angle from right here to up here. And in terms of the rear of the vehicle, you screwed us up big time up in here. You got the license plate removed, and everything of the fixture has been shifted downward, like big time downward. That is just hella interesting. What's the interior even like? Let me try to get a relative camera view, and let's see. Zoom in, and passenger would be in a liquefied meat grinder or whatever, something up in here. A juicer, yeah. Same thing for the driver. He'll be in the juicer too, so if you would have been in the interior of this vehicle, don't even think about it. You'll be dead no matter what. So that'll do it with automation and BeamNG.drive with the Honda CRX Racer. In terms of performance and everything, I'm surprised it did better than I thought it would be. Even though it's got a 1.8 liter engine with VVT, aka VTEC back in the day for car folks, for Honda and all that good stuff. But it performed pretty decent. Good handling, good performance, but horrendous aerodynamics and everything from your front splitter, vortex generators, rear wing, and rear diffuser. I thought they'll put like negative downforce to this vehicle, like not negative downforce, but negative aspects in terms of downforce of how the vehicle would perform and all that good stuff, but I was wrong. And for those who are interested in this type of content, please be sure to like and subscribe so you won't miss out on any videos like this in the future. And also check out my social media down in the description below. So this is TRIZE rising up and signing out.